Hoodwire TV.
Well, I'm not going to say is accountable. I'm going to say should have been accountable for that because of the fact that all that's a truth. Just like what's his name? Gary Webb from the San Jose Mercury when he did the Dark Alliance.
Right.
And that can be found on the internet right there. Dark Alliance when he talks about that. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about that was that also what it did, it created career gang members. See, no longer were we these little young dudes that had to move on to find jobs now, get out the neighborhood and go to work. Because we would have been somewhere else. We'd have been tired as a motherfucker at the end of the day. We wouldn't have had time to be hanging out in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now we became something else because now we all in the hood. Now we all out here getting money. Now we all out here with guns. So when a motherfucker come through here, they ain't got no business here. Enemy come through here, they know where to go because we're on the corner. You see what I'm saying? At the same time, they doing the same thing. So now we got everybody on the corner. This might be 25 guns on one corner. So you understand what I'm saying? The violence was so heavy at that point in time. But once again, the violence was that way simply because of the United States government and their agitation. You see what I mean? Because what's the old saying they say? What Nino Brown said? Ain't no cocaine made in Harlem.
Yeah, ain't no Uzis, but cocaine sold in Harlem, made in Harlem. Yeah, that's a fact.
Willie Lynch. That was the Willie Lynch. That was the Willie Lynch syndrome right there. That's Willie Lynch, right? And they say that Willie Lynch. You know, the debate is did Willie Lynch exist or not? I always say it don't matter if he existed or not. The ideology exists.
Exactly.
The ideology is heavier than anything else because people themselves, they carry the ideology. You know what I mean? And I myself personally, I can't sit up and say that I'm not guilty of that because growing up in the circumstances I grew up in, sometimes I'm like, who is this motherfucker? Why is this motherfucker looking at me? You know what I mean? I'm like, I have to come to terms of understanding, you know what I mean, what my disposition is in the world sometimes because of the fact that the first person that I look at to be somebody that might want to hurt me is somebody that look like me. And that's just simply because of my psychological program, the way that I was programmed, you know what I mean? To where it's just crazy, but then at the same time, I also look at things on a level to where I see the world differently because when we look at the way that things are, right? And we look at the way that things are with our people, right? I also got to understand the fact that we all going through the same things. You know what I mean? I understand the fact that 90% of the time that there's gang activity and violence going on, it's not because of the fact that the hood is putting in work and all this here. It's because one motherfucker had a bad day. He woke up and his mama told his ass go out there and get a job and she on his bumper and he don't want to go home and he got to take his anger out on somebody. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you know, to understand, have an understanding of the whole concept is to understand what's going on in the home too.